Hey guys, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So today my client came in wanting to do a transformation haircut as well as add some tracks to the top of her head to cover that area that is considered to be scarred. So first things first, we started off by parting out her crown area and the hair that we were going to leave longer, and then of course the sides and the back we are going to cut short. So we're going to do what we call our preliminary cut. Now, for this part of the process, it's really by choice. A lot of stylists would do the cut first to at least get some of the hair down so that you can concentrate on the area that really needs to be relaxed. And then others will relax the entire head and then do the haircut after. That's really by choice. I always start off with the preliminary cut, and then I always make sure that I leave a lot more hair than I know I'm going to be using after the relaxer. So the relaxer is now complete. So we're going to go ahead and go through with the haircut. This part of the process is a little more stationary. She does have some trouble areas on her hairline, which that's where we're going to be using hair from another area to basically mask that area. Now, in the process of her trying to grow that area out, I definitely suggest our edge repair system. The edge repair system is basically it's used every 3 days. It is a 2-part system. So you apply the cream first on that area, and then you will go back and apply the serum directly over the cream. And this is going to be once every 3 days. This helps to stimulate growth in the hairline, and that's the entire hairline. So you don't have to it's not just the edges in the front. It can work behind the ear. It can also work in the nape of the neck as well, which is also an area where people thin a lot as well. So definitely check out our edge repair system for those of you that are wanting to grow back your hairline, same as for my client here. Now, when I'm doing my haircut, I always like to concentrate more on the back first, and that actually starts my guide. So that would be my guide area. I don't really mess around with the front area until majority of the time when the client is dry, because I know that I need to be able to cover that area. And I want to make sure that I don't cut too much from the beginning. That is just my choice. It's not an industry standard. It's really based on who is doing the haircut and if this person is knowledgeable in masking and that kind of thing. It's more of an art to me. But some people, are really, really good at it, such as myself, and some people don't even mess with it at all. So that's one thing that I really pride myself on. Now, this part of the haircut, it doesn't necessarily mean that the entire haircut is complete. Sometimes I'll do majority of the work when the client is wet, and then when the client is dry, I'll go back and clean up whatever I need to clean up, which is about 95% of the time. And then for the areas where she has trouble, I do leave that hair a lot longer on purpose. And then I'll carve it out when the hair is dry and we're ready for styling. When I say carve it out, I also mean basically creating a hairline with hair that is not in the same area that I need it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about aftercare while I complete this haircut. Aftercare for her is going to consist of a couple different products. For her shampoo and conditioner, I definitely am going to suggest the Hair Repair and Growth shampoo and conditioner, as well as the Hydration and Strength Leave-In Therapy Spray, which is a leave-in spray. That's very important. She's also going to need our wrap foam, which is our Elite Silk Wrap Foam. That is what you see me placing on her hair now to create her mold. A mold is the foundation for whenever you're going to have any type of short style. This is what you will need in order to lay that hair down in place so that it can be curled really, really nicely. If you don't mold your hair, it is going to stick straight out and you are going to have a very complicated time taking care of a shortcut. So I definitely recommend our Elite Silk Wrap Foam. It can be used on short hair, natural hair, twist outs, coils, whatever. It's really lightweight, but it holds really, really well and it doesn't flake. Now, outside of those 4 products, I definitely, like I said before, recommend the Edge Repair Kit so that you're able to take care of that hairline and help to regrow that hairline, which is very important. And then they can also use our Super Regrowth or our Goddess Serum for the area in the top of the crown that may be balding or thinning, as long as it is not scarred. Now, in her case, that area is scarred. So it's not really much that I can say we can do just based on, my knowledge and my experience. But I don't like to tell people absolutely no. But because I know that that area is scarred, it's going to be a little more, it's actually in a place where it's almost no growth. So usually in that area, something like an implant, or even her haircut is actually absolutely spot on for our Royalty Collection side piece units, because she still has some hair at the top for that unit to be able to hold, and she'll still be able to put it on and take it off. So look out for the Royalty Collection that drops really, really soon. So now what I'm doing after she's dried, if you guys notice that shine on her hair, I haven't put any product on there. This is just from the mold itself using the Elite Silk Wrap Foam. I am now using my Babyliss trimmers to carve out her hairline. Of course, you need to carve out a hairline. Nobody wants to look like hairy dog. Yeah. And then I'm going through and just removing some of the density from right above the occipital bone to kind of create that. You don't want it to be too thick. You just want it to have a nice transition, nice smooth transition, but you don't want that cut to be too hard either, where it creates a big ridge over the occipital bone. So that's an area that you definitely want to make sure you're careful when you're cutting, because it can fool you to think that there's too much hair when really it's just that bone that's protruding that's giving you that illusion. All right. So now let's talk a little bit about the hairline and the carving of the hairline. This part of the process is an art, but it also just depends on who is doing the actual haircut and their liking of a certain sideburn or hairline. Everybody's interpretation of what a hairline should look like is going to be very different. Everyone's interpretation of how they think they want the hairline to lay or how they want it to be cut is going to be very different. For me, I do not believe in straight line hairlines. I think that is just very odd. And I feel like if you're going to make, you're trying to give the illusion that something's there, you need to mimic the natural flow of the hairline itself. So you guys will see what I mean in just a moment. Now for her crown, all I'm doing is just going through and giving her a trim to even it out. And then I'm also getting her prepared for the actual style. So over her ear, she would not have all that hair. So a lot of that hair will come out or come off, which you'll see now. And then, of course, when we add her tracks, we're just going to add some tracks just for fullness and a slight amount of length in the front of her face. But really and truly, she didn't need a lot. It was just more for density or volume, which was the better word. Now, if you guys can tell, you see majority of the haircut already. So that should kind of tell you the direction that we're going. So now I wanted you guys to see what I'm looking at in her crown area. We're going to be using that hair that is right where I'm touching to cover over some of those tracks that we're going to add. But here's what I am going to do. Instead of me placing glue all the way across the weft and putting it over that area that's, even though I know it's scarred, she does have some hair in that area. So I don't want to hinder the process of even that amount of hair, whether it be a small or a large amount growing and possibly being pulled by using the adhesive in that area because it's so fragile. So what I decided to do was I only put glue on the part of the weft that was not touching that area. So you'll see exactly what I mean when I do it in just a moment. This part is more by choice. Some people will put like a protective base in that area and then do it so that they can have free range and put as many tracks as they want. But I knew at the end of the day, I did not need a lot of tracks. So this was something that was easy for me to do. And then, of course, with that area being open, I didn't put any adhesive, as I said before. And that's just going to help to preserve the hair that's there and allow that hair that's there to grow, but still be able to cover it with the tracks with no problem. So I laid out the length of the track first, and then I cut, and then I applied the glue to the track. And I am going to stop talking and let you guys see exactly what I meant when I did that. Okay, so now that area is completely covered. If you guys can tell, it didn't take a lot of tracks, which was really, really good. And I hope you guys kind of understood what I meant when I said how I was laying the tracks and I did not put glue in the area where that weft would touch the balding area, because there were some hairs there that was still alive and growing, but they were fragile. So now what I'm doing is going through and I am doing her haircut. This part is more like a blending than anything else. So I'm just basically blending the weave with her hair. And then of course I'm going to take some of the length off on the side to remove a lot of that volume right over her ear. You don't want too much volume in that area. You want it to be nice and flowy and also be nice and sleek, especially in that area, because it'll give the illusion of a big head. So you don't want to give them a big head. Now what I'm doing is just basically starting on the sides and the back. Like I said, this part is a little less talking required. So I'm going to let you guys watch the curl process, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the style. Okay, so now is when we are going to officially carve out her hairline and give her sideburns. So I use my trimmer, and if you guys noticed, I still followed the direction that the hair itself laid, as though it was a true sideburn, and I didn't take a lot of hair off the sideburns because I still wanted to give her the illusion of a full hairline. That's the word I can use. The illusion of a full hairline. So that area, of course, is not going to be an area that she can curl too much because there's no hair there, as you can see. But that hair lays really, really nicely. And we created that illusion that she just had an entire head of hair, which is the purpose. That's the total purpose, you guys. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and style the crown area. I just used a little bit of hairspray, and then I'm going through and just going to be using the flat iron just to flat iron it out and curl it at the same time. So I'll let you guys watch that process, and then we'll come back and talk again. All right, so we're using a little bit of our Goddess Polish. This is a oil-free gloss that you can use on the hair. It also serves as a heat protectant to the environmental elements. And then I'm just going through using my wide tooth comb just to style her. I got tongue-tied. Now, you guys, tell me this is not the cutest style ever. No, I thought it came out really, really nice. I did see that there was an area on her side area, on her sideburns that was exposed that needed to be slightly thinned. So I'm definitely going to thin that out a little bit. And you guys will get to see how I thinned that area out. So I used my shears and I literally went through and just basically thinned out that area. The reason why I didn't use the clippers or do like a 90-degree cut is because we were already using hair from another area to kind of mask that area. So I didn't want to run the risk of exposing too much. So this is also an alternate way for you to be able to thin that hair out without actually going through with clippers or giving her any type of hard lines or reducing any of the hair that you actually would need. Now, I want you guys to comment down below. Please tell me what you think about this style. Tell me what you guys thought about the masking or the I'll just say the style. Let's call it the style. But please also take note that she is able to move the style around. It cannot be directionalized to the other side, but she can also wear it as a semi-mohawk if she chooses. So I thought it came out really nice. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Clubhouse and Instagram at Elite Hair Care USA. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.